So, in continuation to our discussion on cryptography, we'll talk about asymmetric key cryptography, and we'll see that we'll have private and public key here, and we'll discuss two algorithm RSA and Diffie-Hellman. So, let us start with RSA. In RSA, what happens here is Alice wants to send the content or data to Bob. Now we have various variables you can see here, which is your E, D, N. So E, D, N, these are the variables that we'll be using to do the encryption and decryption. So for encryption, what we are going to do, we'll use the P, that is the content which needs to be sent, and then we will take the power of E like this, and then we mod it with N. We'll see how we'll get this N, E, etc. And while decrypting, we take this C which we have got, we power it with the E, okay, again this E, and we mod it with N, and then the decryption, decrypted or plain text will get. So in RSA, E and N, what we have seen, they are announced to be the public, and D and 5 are kept secret. Now I'll tell you the example. Suppose Bob, we have seen, he wants to send whatever variable we have seen, I'll write here. P was 7, and he says that he'll send choose Q as what? 11. So now he has to calculate N. N is what? N is nothing but P into Q, and that will be nothing but 77. 77 we have. Now he has to calculate one more thing, that is 5. In certain texts it is given as Z also. So not to worry, we have to find P minus 1, P minus 1, that is this P minus 1, that is 7 minus 1, then Q minus 1, Q minus 1, and that is 11 minus 1. So what it will be? It will be our 60. So now 5 is 60. So what he has to choose? He has to choose E and D. So E and D are the main, these are the public, and now we have to choose E and D. So what E and D can be? E and D, he chooses E to be 13, and this 13 has to be between 1 and this 60. So this 13, what he chooses E, should be between 1 and this 5, and it should be co-prime to 77 also. It should be co-prime to 77 also, and he takes D as 37. 30, this D will become 37. Now just imagine that Alice sends the plaintext 5 to Bob, and she chooses the public key as 13 to decrypt 5. So what will be the plaintext? Plaintext which needs to be sent is 5. What will be the ciphertext? Ciphertext will be 5 to the power 13, because he chooses 13 as E. And once we take mod of this with 77, what is 77? 77 is N, nothing but N, which was here. So C, which is 5 to the power 13 mod N, and this will come to 26. So this is what will be sent. But on the other hand, or on the next side, Bob receives what? 26. And of course, he uses the private key 37, which was this. D was 37. And the 37, he uses this 37 private key to decipher. So what he's going to do, he'll take what he has got, 37, and he'll take mod with 77. So he'll get 5. The plain text was 5, and the plain text 5 sent by Alice is received as plain text 5 by the Bob. So this is the RSA. Now Jennifer creates a pair of keys for herself. She chooses P and Q to be these numbers. She calculates N. You know how N can be calculated. Just multiply these two. 5 is P minus 1 into Q minus 1. That is 158400. She chooses E to be 343. D should be 12007. And D and E should be chosen like this. D into E mod of N should be 1. So this is how D and E should be chosen. Okay, that is how we got 12007 after choosing 343 as E, because E is, of course, E should be greater than 1 and between the 5 means this value, but the D, it should be co-prime to 158400 also. That is how we have chosen 343. So show how Ted can send a message to Jennifer if he knows E and N. So suppose Ted wants to send a message no to Jennifer. So he changes each character to a number, say from 00 to 25, with each character coded as digit. He then concatenates two coded characters and get a 4-digit number. So the plain text will be 1314. So TED then uses ENN to encrypt the message. We have seen what ENN is. So the ciphertext will be 1314 to the power 343. That is 33677. And that is 33667 mod of 159197. Jennifer receives what? This is, if we take mod 13143 to the power 343 and take mod from 159197, we'll get 33677. And now at the description or decryption side, the decipher will be computed by this method 33677 to the power, what was that, 12007, okay, which we just computed in the earlier one. And again we compute the mod with 159197, that will be 1314. So Jennifer then decodes 1314 as the message no. So the total computation was like this. No was 1314, so 1314 to the power 343, E was 343, mod of 159197. And what this was 9. This was computed by 397 into 401 minus 1. This minus 1, this minus 1. So E was 343 and D became 12007. So when we decrypt it using 12007, what value we get after doing this computation, that is 33677 to the power 12007 and mod of 159197. So 1314, that deciphered to be no. And let us take a realistic example. So we randomly choose an integer, say 5 of 512 bits. Okay, 512 bits. The integer p is a 159 digit number. This is a p with 159 digit number. And integer q, say, is 160 digit number like this. So we randomly choose integer of 512 bits. We calculate n. So it has 309 bits. You know how to calculate n by now. We also calculate 5. So it has 309 digits as you see here. Then we choose E to be 35535. And then we find D. By E you know how to compute the D. And because D into E, mod of n should be 1. So that is how we computed the D. So Alice now wants to send the message, this is a test, which can be changed to a numeric value by using 00 to 226 encoding scheme. 26 is the space character. So P would be something like this. Okay. The ciphertext will be calculated by Alice, say C equal to P to the power E, which is this one. Okay. Now Bob can recover the plain text from a ciphertext by just using C to the power D. That is P, C to the power D. And you know why now, that what was C, and just we will take the power D, do the mod, and the recovered plain text is, this is a test. So a symmetric shared key, which is Diffie-Hellman protocol, is given by G to the power xy mod P. This is a symmetric or shared key of Diffie-Hellman will computed by G to the power xy mod P. So let us take a trivial example to make this procedure quite clear of Diffie-Hellman. Our example uses small numbers, but note that in a real situation the numbers are very large. So just assume G to be 7 and P to be 23. See, K is G to the power xy mod P. Let me write it for you. K is equal to G to the power xy. K is equal to G to the power xy. And then we have mod P. So here we have G as 7. So this is 7. G is 7. And P is 23. The steps are like this. Alice chooses X to be 3. So how we can calculate R1? That is 7 to the power G to the power 7 to the power 3. And then we compute the mod with 23. What is mod? What is this 23? This is P. So we get 21. Now Bob chooses Y to be 6. So how to calculate? You know that this G is 7. So 7 to the power 6. And we take mod with P. What it will be? 4. So Alice sends the number 21, which is what we have got here, to Bob. And Bob sends the number 4 to Alice. So Alice calculates the symmetric key. How? Because K will be equal to 4. What 4 we have received here to the power 3, and we'll take mod with 23, that is 18. And Bob calculates the symmetric key. How? 21, this one, to the power of 6, this one. So 4 to the power of x and 21 to the power of y. and we take mod bit 13. So 18 we have received. The value of k is the same for both Alice and Bob, and we now apply our 0 to the power xy mod p. That is 7 to the power 18. What is this? 18. Xy is 18. So we'll take mod bit 23, and that will be 18. This is the Diffie-Hellman idea. This is Alice. This is Bob. So Alice fills up another 1/3 of the secret key using her random number, and she sends the key to the Bob. In this case here, Bob fills up another 1/3 of the secret key using his random number, and he sends this y here. So Alice completes the key adding by the last part, and Bob completes the key by adding the last part. So the two keys are the same because it does not matter if x is filled first or y is filled first. So this is the Diffie-Hellman idea. But we also have certain things in between, which is say man in the middle. So say eavesdropper is there, so he can use certain criteria to get these values. Okay, so we have to be very aware of this of man in the middle attack. So be well versed that our values should be so strong and the algorithm should be so strong, so nobody can actually hamper our communication. So thank you so much. This was about the cryptography in digital communication networking.